Hello everybody. Today I have something very different to talk about today. I have considered making this video for the past few days, whether or not it was appropriate for me to make, and I do think it is appropriate for me to make because I am fairly public about being Catholic on BookTube. I don't, use my platform for the purposes of, talking about the faith per se, but my research interests and my reading interests are certainly in Catholic studies, and so I feel that I have a responsibility to address the most recent Pennsylvania report on clerical sex abuse. So last weekend, if you don't know, I'm sure you all know, there was a report that was put out by the grand jury in Pennsylvania about child sexual abuse in the Catholic Church. So over a 70-year period, 300 priests abused 1,000 children. And of course there was widespread cover-ups. So I want to say first that it has, of course, angered me. I am very upset about it. I have never experienced abuse, and so I am not speaking as a victim or as someone who has ever experienced this, but I know that there will be people watching this video who have experienced abuse either in the Catholic Church or outside, and I just want to say that I am angry. I'm angry with the lack of accountability and how, on the one hand, as Catholics, we talk about the need for reparation for sins on an individual level, that if I were to confess something, then I have to do something to try to repair the damage, and yet on an institutional level, we do not do that. There has not been accountability, and power is really what's behind the abuse and cover-ups. This is, of course, not the first time, and unfortunately I do not think this will be the last time that there will be another wave of scandals, of revelations about former and unfortunately probably current abuse. I want to say that I'm angry, and that if you are angry, that we all should be angry, that you have a right to be angry, that it's because we haven't been angry that there has been no accountability. It's because we haven't been angry that we have not educated ourselves to recognize the signs of abuse, to speak to authorities when we notice signs of abuse, that we have continued to be silent. I hope that our anger will prevent any of this from happening again. I know that in Pennsylvania, where I will be tomorrow, I am flying back to Philadelphia, where I attend school, that there is a very good training program online for mandated reporters. So Pennsylvania is a state in which if you suspect child abuse of any form, you are required to report it, and the training talks about what you have to do, who you have to speak to, and what your rights are, how your privacy will be protected. And this program I'm mentioning because all religious ed instructors in the United States who are Catholic catechists have to go through this training, but it varies from state to state, and the one in Pennsylvania is far superior to the one that I had in Kentucky, and so I think that a lot of this training is available online, but I really urge everyone who is working with children in any capacity, if you are not already trained to recognize signs of abuse, and you don't know the laws of your state about reporting, that you do. It varies from state to state, but I think it's just so important. And if you're not American, figure out what the laws are in your country. I think it's really, really important for us that we are vocal about this. But of course, this is an institutional problem. It is something that has to occur on the bishop's level, and I really do hope that things change. So yeah, I thought to make this video because I feel that it is my responsibility to acknowledge the most recent report. I don't have any other solutions except to say that we need to educate ourselves and we need to hold leaders accountable, and that ultimately this is a question of power. If you're not Catholic, I hope that your institution is not also covering up abuse, but don't be so sure. Really, we all need to investigate our own institutions, because this is a larger problem. I mean, we've seen this in Hollywood. Thank you, everyone.